Hey guys, welcome back, and today we're going to go over Glimmora and Glimmora EX. If you don't know, I am having a challenge or a deck building competition between myself and Chef Husky. We're going to be doing this on the 15th, so in like 2 days, at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Come out, we'll both be live streaming, it'll be really fun. But today we're going to go over this deck. It is one of my favorite decks that I have built and have been playing with. I play it at locals. I have it built a little bit differently. I like to play it against the kids and some of the newer players, stuff like that, where it's not built like this. But I thought I'd revisit the deck. First off, we're going to go over Glimmora, Baby Glimmora, with its Shattering Crystal ability. When this Pokemon is KO'd, you flip a coin. If heads, no prize cards are given. So even if, say for instance, we used Luxurious Cape, it's not takes one less prize, it is no prize cards are taken. So this thing could be worth 4 prize cards. Doesn't get it. Even if, say, Togekiss goes ahead and rolls and gets an extra prize card off it, we roll heads, no prize cards can be taken. It also has the Poison Petals attack. For 1 fighting, the opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. During Pokemon Checkup, put 6 damage counters in between turns. So with this, instead of doing 1, we're doing 6. We're going to be able to get a couple of little things, not a lot, but Pidgeys, for 1, only have 50 HP, or at least most people are running the 50 HP Pidgey, so this could even knock those out. We're also running the Glimmora EX with its Dust Field ability. If this Pokemon is in the active at any point, your opponent can only have 3 bench Pokemon. If they have 4 or more, they must bring it down to 3, and this card blocks Area 0. It does have an attack, Poison Gem. For fighting and fighting, it does 140, and the opponent is now the opponent's Pokemon is now poisoned. This is going to be a fantastic card in a lot of the matchups that we're going to have to face. You know, Pikachu's coming around a lot. We're going to be seeing, you know, a lot of people running with the Terrapagos line, stuff like that. People are still running those decks, and they're still running Area 0, and this just says, hey, I know you have that, but you're still only allowed to have 3, so you have to discard until you have 3. This is going to mess with a lot of people's strategies. We do have the Pecharunt EX with its Subjugating Chains ability. Once per turn, you may move a dark Pokemon from the bench to the active. If you do that, the new active is poisoned, and that's kind of okay. It is going to pivot around a couple things. We're going to be able to poison something and then move things around and do extra stuff with Pecharunt. Baby Pecharunt with its Toxic Subjugation. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, put 5 more damage counters on your opponent's active poisoned Pokemon. So this is actually pretty decent if we're going with Glimmora, because Glimmora says 6 in between turns. Not 6 more, just it does 6 in between turns instead of 1. Move Pecharunt, now we're doing 11. Perilous Jungle down at the bottom says 2 more, now we're doing 13. Radiant Sneasler says 2 more, now we're doing 15. And that just happens in between turns, so a 300 HP Pokemon, if they don't move it, well, guess what? We're going to be knocking it out. We are also running the Bloodmoon Ursaluna with its Battle-Hardened ability. When you play this from your hand to the bench, you can attach up to 2 fighting energy from your hand to this Pokemon. And it's pretty awesome. And its attack is also really good with Mad Bite. For fighting, and colorless, it does 100. Plus 30 more damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. So even a big Pokemon, something like Charizard, something that is just a big Pokemon, we're going to be able to knock it out with this and only give up 1 prize in return. This is a good card as a backup attacker. We do run Brute Bonnet with its Toxic Powder ability. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon has an Ancient Booster Energy attached, you can go ahead and poison both active Pokemon. So this can still really help us out, and as you can see, now you're starting to understand, this deck is all about putting poison down and pumping the damage out. We do run Radiant Hisuian Sneasler with its Poison Peak ability to help us do things. What it says is put 2 more damage counters on your opponent's poisoned Pokemon. So we're starting to build poison. We've got 6 from Glimmora, 5 from Pecharunt, 2 more from Sneasler. We're really kind of building these damages up. Now we do need some sort of draw support, and we're going to do that with a 1/1 line of Bidoof and Bibarel. Bibarel, with its industrious incisors, says go ahead, if you don't have 5 in your hand, draw until you have 5. We're not really relying on this as a true draw supporter, but we do want draw support, and hopefully we'll be using our hand quite a bit, so a 1/1 line of Bibarel will potentially help us out. It could end up getting prized, but I'm not really worried about it, and most people want to leave it alone. They're not going to target it down, so you should have it for most of the game. As far as supporters go, we do run Arven, Judge, Boss's Order, Iono, and Professor's Research. All of these are pretty staple in every one of the decks that I run, but we'll go over them anyway. Arven says, go ahead and search your deck for a tool and an item card and put them in your hand. Judge says, both players shuffle their hand and each draw 4 cards. Boss's Order says, bring a bench Pokemon and put it in the active on your opponent's side of the field. Iono says, both players shuffle their hands, put it at the bottom of the deck, and then draw however many prize cards they have remaining. And lastly, Professor's Research, ditch your hand and draw 7. A lot of this is a fairly easy and decent way of doing things. A lot of these items are what be what you see in most of the decks, especially decks like this that run a lot of little HP Pokemon and such. You're going to be able to find stuff like that. We are running the Perilous Jungle. Perilous Jungle says, poison non-dark type Pokemon, take 2 more damage counters during Pokemon checkup. So as long as we're not running into something like, I don't know, a Charizard or a Roaring Moon, we're going to be able to put 2 more damage counters down, and that's going to help us out a lot. We are also, lastly, running the Neutralization Zone. Prevent all damage done to Pokemon that don't have a rule box. This card can't be put back into your deck or hand. Well, since we're really kind of not worried about our 2 EXs that we're going to be running, if we have this out, all of our Pokemon are not going to be able to take damage from anything, and we can kind of hold them off unless they have a stadium bump. If they don't, we just kind of trap them and poison them and let them do what they want to do. Again, we are having a competition between myself and Chef Husky. It's going down on the 15th of January, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. Love to see you there. Anyway, that's the deck list. Let's go ahead and get into it. So we want to go second with this deck. Going first doesn't help us, but going second really kind of does. With Glimmet, it has the attack Ascension, and with Ascension we're able to attack and immediately evolve into a Glimmora, and therefore potentially negating them even having a prize card. We are going first, so that is a thing to note. One thing that we'll be doing, okay, so we're using, looks like Azumarill and a bunch of Togekiss. Okay, it's something to note. Again, with the Togekiss, they're not going to be able to take prize cards if they don't get prize cards off of Glimmora. Okay, these are things that we could be doing pretty well with this. We'll go ahead and Nest Ball here. I like the idea of a Nest Ball. Let's see, what do we have? Okay, so we don't have the ability to poison, and that's something we need to remember. I don't mind getting another Glimmet here. I will attach, and with this we can go ahead and, you know what, I don't mind just ending turn here. I want to save that Ultra Ball potentially to get the Glimmora so we can immediately start attacking and evolving, it would be cool to get the Glimmora EX. We're going to limit their bench space, which will really help us out in this particular matchup. We have another energy, so we can attach. Glimmora EX is immediately going to be in there. We're going to be able to get a lot of other things. Start getting, okay, so we're not getting an Iono, so we're pretty happy with this. But we're gonna be able to kind of keep them trapped at 3 Pokemon with this, and we're gonna be able to slow them down, and we're gonna be able to build our bench up to get that Bidoof, get things moving along, and get things happy. We're not gonna use Iono unless they have a fairly large hand. They just use their trolley, which is going to be really fun when we use Glimmora EX and they're forced down to 3 bench Pokemon. Okay, so that Pikachu doesn't really worry us too much. We do have Poison. Poison's going to make it so that it's basically worthless as far as the ability goes. Poison, we're just going to sit there and take Poison and give them poison damage, and we're really not going to worry about things. Even with, say, Glimmora EX, if we do knock out that Pikachu, if we do hit that Pikachu, it is going to bring it all the way down, and then honestly what's going to happen is the poison is going to tick over and that Pikachu dies anyway. I do want to put this down here. We will Ultra Ball. We're getting rid of everything in our hand anyway, so none of this really matters. I am going to shoot for the Glimmora EX though. Glimmora EX down, forcing them down to 3 Pokemon on their bench, which is actually fine with us, and I'm going to go ahead and Professor's research this stuff. We do have the Glimmora here. I like that. I like the Pecharunt here just because it allows us to do something. And Buddy-Buddy, what we'll do is get another... We'll just get one, but getting another Glimmet doesn't hurt us. Throw out another Pokégear. We'll hold off on that, and we can go ahead and Poisonous Gem and take this knockout. And now we do have the Neutralization Zone. In this particular matchup, Neutralization Zone's not going to help us much at all. And so getting rid of that is totally okay at some point. Which we were going to be attacking anyway. We wanted to go for that Pikachu. We wanted to be able to attack it and go, hey, this is the one I want to knock out. A Bibarel down, we will probably go for that Bibarel, just so that we can help destroy their search engine, or their draw engine. Being able to boss's order something up and then knock it out is kind of important. Being able to slow down their draw engine is very important. Our Bibarel, or at least we do, I think we had the Bibarel, I think the Bidoof is in prize cards. What does this one do? Let me look at this. Precious Gift, at the end of your turn. You may use this ability, draw until you have 8. Okay. So it's kind of like the Venusaur, or the Radiant Venusaur, but instead of 4, it draws 8. Or up to 8, not draws 8. It draws up to 8. A Psychic Energy. I would imagine... Okay. If he's going to do that, we will actually probably target down the Azumarill and not really worry about it. We know this Pikachu's not going to be doing much. They don't have any of the energy to suggest that it can attack. 120 is really not that bad. Okay, we've got another fighting energy here. We're going to put it down there. We are going to boss's order up this Azumarill. I know we said we were going to get rid of the Bibarel, but I want to get rid of the attacker. This attacker is dangerous for us. And now at any point in time, either one of these is going to be able to be knocked out. And there you go. They'll concede. Okay, so like I said in the last one, going first and going second do have their merits. Going first, you're able to do certain things and kind of get a Glimmora set up either way you want to go. But with going second, Glimmet can then ascension into either one and kind of go from there and kind of either limit your opponent or go ahead and kind of get it set up to where they can't really take prize cards. They did have a fire coin with Dark, so I'd imagine this is probably a Charizard. Okay, not only is it Charizard, it is Charizard League Battle Deck. We are going first. That is something to note. We'll go ahead and attach there. I don't mind getting rid of the Ancient Booster and our Judge for the moment. We do have one more fighting, so that is something to note, but I think... Oh man. Okay, but I think what we can do with this is get... Let's go ahead and get our Glimmora set up for next turn. We can Neutralization Zone, which will protect this Glimmet, and we'll move on. Okay, that at least gives him free retreat. He'll then go get another Charmander, maybe? He'll get the Radiant Zard. So this can hurt us now. That's good to know. What we could potentially do with Arven is... Okay, he'll pass the turn. That's no big deal here. We do have a Bibarel. That's good to note. Let's get the Arven going. I would like to get a Buddy-Buddy Poffin. Okay, and then I don't want to do the Binding Mochi, although it is a tool card. You know what? That's okay. We'll leave it. Buddy-Buddy here really helps us out. We will get our Bidoof and another Glimmet here. We can go ahead and always attach that to Glimmet, and we'll go ahead and Poison Petals. It'll do 6, so 6 on our turn, and then passing into our turn, it will get knocked out. Unless they retreat it. Okay, throws down the Arven. Arven will probably go get, I would imagine, the Rare Candy and something. Even if, say for instance, he does... Okay, so Rare Candy and Bravery Charm onto the Radiant Zard, or potentially the Moltres to keep the Moltres alive for another turn. Nope, goes ahead and passes, and we're happy with that. We will take a prize card. Another Buddy-Buddy. We'll at least be able to get Glimmets down. A new active will come up. I'm guessing it will be Radiant Zard. No, it'll be Pidgey, so we'll knock this one out as well. Okay, we've got the Glimmora. I don't think that's a problem here. We'll go ahead and get 2 more. We'll get 2 more Glimmets. That's fine. Bibarel down. And we'll go ahead and Industrial Synthesizers for 5. Okay, this isn't bad at all, actually. Let's go ahead and Arven. I do want to go and get... let's see. What do we have in here? Nothing, so that is worthless there. What we could do is... let's look at our Pokemon real fast. Okay, so we have no more Glimmora. That's important to note. We do want that Radiant Sneasler, though. So we'll go ahead and get a Nest Ball. Nest Ball here to get the Radiant Sneasler. And what we'll do is go ahead and Poison Petals. 8 between turns. That's going to knock out that Pidgey, and we're going to keep moving. Pokégear does potentially help us. So he needs 3 on it. That's 2. We'll see what comes next. The Bravery Charm is there. Okay. That's not a problem, actually. Okay, we've got the Iono. Glimmora. Let's see. You know what? I don't mind. Let's get rid of this Charmander. It's kind of important that we do that. We'll go ahead and get rid of the Iono and the Pecharunt. They're not going to really help us here. Another Glimmora EX should be okay. Glimmora EX down there, and then we'll go ahead and You know what? Let's see what we get out of this. We got nothing. That's fine. We at least get 4 cards out of this. We do need to kill this Charmander. That's fine. We're not going to worry about it. 8 between turns. Totally okay. We'll take another one. And we get the other Pecharunt. So this is actually something we were looking forward to. Okay, another Ultra Ball for the Charmander. That's totally okay. We're not going to worry about that. Charmander down. Another... okay, Fire Energy onto Charmander. That's okay. Do they get a prize card out of it? And they do. They do get a prize card. We're actually not worried about that, and I'll tell you why. We're going to bring this Glimmet up. Go ahead and attach this here. That's going to help us out a ton. We'll go ahead and Boss's order up that other Charmander. The longer we can keep them from getting Charizard, the better. Let's go ahead and grab 2 more cards. Okay, we do have a Super Rod. Let's get the Super Rod going. I don't mind a Glimmet. I don't mind that being in there as well. Heavy Ball, what do we have? Glimmet. Okay, that's not too terrible. We can deal with those. We'll probably end up getting something off of this anyway. And we can go ahead and Poison Petals. Making sure they don't get a Charizard EX is important. Take another one, and we do get the Switch. This is actually going to help us out quite a bit. Combustion Blast does knock out this Glimmet. We should be okay. Do we give up the prize card? Yes, we do. And with this, we're going to have to do something drastic. We're going to go ahead and put up this Glimmora. Okay, we do get the Night Stretcher. Night Stretcher is going to help us out quite a lot. We're going to be able to get this Fighting Energy. Fighting Energy goes up. And we can go ahead and Nest Ball here for a Glimmet. Do I want to do that? Yeah, I want to do that. We can then Iono. It kind of puts those 2 cards in our deck, and that's totally okay. We're not going to worry about it. Okay, we do have another Fighting Energy. This Fighting Energy will potentially get us what we want. We will go ahead and Industrious Incisors. Those are all fantastic. What we can now do, we will Poison Gem. It does 140. That's fine, but with Poison, we're also going to be doing more with the Radiant Sneasler. Now, he did Combustion Blast last time, so he can't Combustion Blast again. So what we'll end up doing is being pretty sneaky with it. We're going to let him do whatever he's going to do. I'm guessing... okay, gets the Arven down. Rare Candy and Defiance Band. Defiance Band onto the Charmander. Rare Candy into the Charizard. 1, 2... depends on how many energy they have. They have plenty of energy. Okay, he will switch. That's how he's going to do the Radiant Zard. Okay. Saving the Radiant Zard, totally okay with that. We're actually not going to be upset. Does knock out our Glimmora. Okay, Nest Balls. How many Glimmora do we have in here? Just one, so we should have another one somewhere. We're going to go ahead and Binding Mochi... we'll Binding Mochi here. Why not? We'll go ahead and... did it really just time out on us? Okay. Here we go. We've got that there. We'll go ahead and Nest Ball. Let's see what we have. Do we have the... we do not have it, so it's okay. We don't want that. We'll go ahead and get rid of the Nest Ball. We'll go ahead and drop a Nest Ball. We will get rid of that. That's fine. No big deal. And let's go ahead and Industrious Incisors. Drawing more. That's important. What we can do here is Pokégear. We do get the Research. Okay. Let's go ahead and Research here. Why not? We do have Ursaluna. We will be using that. Attach, attach. We can then go ahead and Ascension. Let's not get anything. That's okay. How many of the... Okay, so we used all of our Night Stretchers and Glimmoras in there, so we needed to kind of take the other Glimmora. I remember that now being in the prize cards, yeah. Okay, we'll retreat into the Radiant Zard, would be my guess. And that does take a knockout. We can go ahead and move up our Ursaluna here. Looking at energy, we do get another one, so we're okay with that. Well, energy here, this still protects our Ursaluna, so I'm not going to worry about it. We can go ahead and... Let's go ahead and Bibarel. Why not get the one? What do we get out of it? We do get a Judge. Giving them 4 more cards, giving them 1 extra card actually could help them, so we're not going to worry about it. We'll go ahead and Mad Bite. Take the prize card. It is a Super Rod. Okay. Manaphy down. Bravery Charm onto Manaphy. Mela to get 1. That does give them 6. We should have probably judged. Do they get an extra one? Into a Charizard. Okay. So the more he does this, the better it is for us. How many bosses have they used? No bosses. That's important to note. Judging them could give them a boss. And goes ahead and passes the turn. Don't mind this. We're going to go ahead and Super Rod here. We'll give a Glimmet. We'll get a Glimmora. And why not a Energy? We can go ahead and get rid of this. Dropping this and dropping this. It's not going to help us at all right this second. And we'll go ahead and get the Glimmora. Wondering but why? I'll tell you why. Because we're going to go ahead and Industrious Incisors are probably... Okay, just getting the 1. That's okay. We're not going to worry about it. I don't mind dropping 100 damage counters here. Right now, all of his Pokemon, he needs a boss. So that's something to kind of be invested in, is that he needs a... There he is. Okay. Brings up the Pecharunt. That's actually okay. We're going to go ahead and... Why are you not able to retreat? Thank you. We'll go ahead and retreat that. We'll go ahead and bring this up. I don't mind. Go ahead and Mad Bite will do 400 damage and take the knockout. And there's the last Glimmora. And there you go, Glimmora EX. I think we could probably do a little bit better with this deck. There's been a couple times where I probably would have liked to have seen something like Squawkabilly very early on. The 1/1 line of a barrel is really good. Just, if it does get knocked out, it does kind of suck. I think you only need 1 baby Pecharunt. I don't think you need 2, so we could probably get rid of one of those. Other than that, I'd like to see more draw support. Draw support can be an issue with this deck, so probably 1 Iono, 2 Research, 1 Judge, just because it doesn't really come in handy, and it can
But I'm a genetic freak, and I'm not normal.
And it can actually hurt us as well for Judge. I'd probably bring 1 more baby Glimmora, switching it out for the Glimmora EX, so it's a 3/1 line. Glimmora EX is really cool, but it can mess with you a little bit, so having 1 would probably be better. Taking a baby Pecharunt and bringing that down would be smart. Increasing your draw support is really important, so I think a Squawkabilly here would be good. The idea was that we want to limit what we're doing, is we want to limit our EXs because of Neutralization Zone, so that could be the issue, but you could always throw something up like a Thornton. You could always throw something up like, I don't know, pretty much anything. And get rid of some of those. Pennies, for sure. Penny would get rid of things. Turo could get rid of things on the bench. So it all just depends on what you're thinking. Would I take this to a cup or a challenge? Maybe. Yeah, probably. I think people aren't ready for it. I think the aspect of being able to deny prizes with the Glimmora is really good, as long as you can attach every turn and you can kind of mess with things. I love Glimmora EX because it definitely messes, as you saw with that first game, it definitely messes with people's ability to move and push things onto the bench and kind of get themselves set up. So Glimmora EX is always pretty good with that. If you would, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and do all the things that help me continue to do this. Again, on the 15th of January, literally 2 days away, we're going to be dropping down and fighting with Chef Husky. Great guy. Cannot say enough good things about him. He has been fantastic. He's offered to help me with Adobe Premiere. He's a great dude. So go visit him and give him a sub and tell him that the fish sent you. Again, we are going to fight on the 15th, so come on out and visit us. Banter with us. And make sure to tell him that he smells like a wet dog. Anyway, with that, have fun, stay safe. I love you. Bye.